Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the cash cows for round 17, trying to make this a quick-ish video as we've sort of gone over these guys a couple of times before. There's really only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys, and let me just reverse my trades so that you don't know my actual trades to say the Friday video in itself. As you can see, I've probably just gotten out of the shower and it doesn't help for my hair, but anyway. Before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this video. So, Logan Evans is probably the clear number one trade target. Well, I would say that. But then again, you've also got Lawson Humphreys, who's 50k cheaper, and he's got only a -6 difference in his break even. So I'd say Lawson Humphreys actually the number one guy, and then Logan Evans, and then Irish Showmaker, then Billy Dowling itself is probably, you'd probably take Moniz Wakefield before Billy Dowling. But those are sort of the top 5, I guess, in a way, and there's really, I can tell you right now, there's pretty much no one else. Blight didn't do anything significant enough. He got a 42, but his break even is 11. If he gets another 42, it gets another 42 and he starts to get down to that range where he's like 240k and with a 0 or negative break even, so somewhere around that range. So if he gets another 40, he could be one next week. McNeil, Phillips down. No, I'm just trying to see if there's anyone before we go back up here. There's no one here this evening. Hardeman might play because we've heard news that Fisher didn't complete the captain's run. But that's never 100% certain yet, so we'll find out news tonight about whether Fisher gets through. Then you've also got McKercher, but you're not really bringing him in to be a cash cow, are you? You're bringing him in to be a better scorer, and I don't know whether he'll necessarily do that. So we'll have to wait and see on that front. And I don't think anyone else is going to play, to be honest. Will Lawrence, if he gets a full game, could be interesting, 201k. He did score a 25, 23 break even, plays the Bulldogs. This could be an interesting one if he does fully play next week, given that he'll be, I would suspect, say he gets a 60 or so, he'll be next week about the 200 and I would say 30k, 240k, and having 1 or 2 break even, somewhere around that range if he can get a 60. But back up to the top here, Logan Evans is the lowest break even of a -11. He's one that, if you haven't had him so far, I don't know what you're honestly doing. And yeah, these guys have just, I think I said in my video yesterday, my recap, and I think this more so almost says it again this week, is that my bench is almost better than it was leading into the bye, just because I'm picking up player after player. Logan Evans that are actually making money. Logan Evans, 75, 59, he's been really, really good, and he's a guy that I think that they should really put trust in, because he's been pretty actually a good prospect throughout both. I think his efficiency's been not the worst, and his ball use has been pretty good. I think he's got decent meters gained. He's ended up kicking a goal in this game against St Kilda, which not many people could do, given that it was 16 goals, like 26 or whatever. So he was pretty good in that game as well. And yeah, he's just going to make 50 or so K, I would suspect, if he makes another 55. But if he goes extremely large, he gets like a 70 or an 80. And then that score really balloons out. He gets like 60k this week, gets like a -25, 30 break even. And then he can really make cash very, very quickly. So can Schoenmaker. Tholstrop's under that same sort of thing as well. Tholstrop's actually already a decent option as well, at 12 break even here as well. For those that have him, to just keep him for another week, because he's got West Coast. I could see him going 70 again against West Coast, and 70 against West Coast is going to see him go up, I'd say 40k, and 40k to 365k makes a huge difference. So hopefully he can go well against Gold Coast. Not Gold Coast, West Coast. Then you have Irish Showmaker, the second defender on this list, and he's also got a -6 break. Well, it doesn't also have the same break even as someone, but he has a negative break even, and he's got a -6 break even. Plays the Swans, should be interesting given that they're gonna tag, I would suspect, Sinclair. So he might actually score decently well because they're gonna tag Sinclair. So it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. I'm suspecting that Show and Maker will do pretty well here, and so Sydney, Adelaide, I think he can go because he went 52 last week against Port. I suspect he probably gets a little bit more of the ball this week. And I suspect he goes like 65 or so. 65 would be a massive increase, and yeah, I could see him being the one. I think I'm trading him out in a couple weeks' time. Hopefully one of the two of him or Evans pokes up to 400k or so. That's sort of the hope. So he just needs to keep on making cash, basically as simple as that, and he's doing his role off the halfback there with his booming kick. Lawson Humphreys was really, really good on the weekend. Just gone 69 on 15 touches, 6 marks, 3 tackles, 69 against Essendon. Has Hawthorn, which will be an interesting task. I need to actually look up his what position he necessarily played, as I don't know exactly what he was playing. As I don't think I watched too much of the game particularly. I thought he was off half-back. Part of me said he was off half-back. So I just want to double check that. Here we go. Yeah, off half. That would be off halfback, surely. Let's just see. Yeah, that's off halfback. That's a really good position. Much like we said with Logan Evans and Ari Showmaker, these guys off halfback as rookies generally actually score the best. Yes, you have guys in the guts that have the higher potential, I would say, for rookies, but those guys can also go missing. It is a tougher role to learn, I would say. So I think that those halfback guys really do score really well as wingers, and Billy Dowling as well. He's learning on the wing and on ball as well. So I think that those are the two best roles for these for rookies in itself, and that's the reason why these guys are scoring pretty well. They're averaging 67, 63, 69, 69. Billy Dowling as well. He's probably going to be one that gets potentially even cut sometime soon. It may not be next week. It may be the week after that he goes. And hopefully he'll be like 450k, and Show and Maker or Logan Evans someone will be around that sort of 400k, so they have enough to get up to a primo somewhere in one of the lines, and that'll be the hope there, I guess. Then we go to Monique Wakefield, a guy that did really well on his debut last week. 57. He's got a 2 break even against West Coast. I think this one is also a good option if he gets through selection this week. With I don't know what's AFL injury lists. Let's just see how's Bowie going. Where is Melbourne? There we go. Bowie's a test. That doesn't look good. You've got a test here, a test. Petty's a test, Brown's a test, but 2 tests in almost his same position doesn't seem to be the best for Monique's Wakefield, which could be a little bit annoying given that I would like more cash gen. And maybe sways it to getting Lorenz or something like that. But yeah, that doesn't sound the greatest, to be honest with you. Monique's Wakefield, if he plays, he'll be a good option. If he doesn't, then it isn't a good option. But yeah, he looked really good last week with a 79% time on ground for a 16 disposal, 2 mark, 3 tackle effort for a 57. And yeah, if he gets a couple games here, he'll skyrocket in price, 34, 35, 31k with the projected 48 straight in 3 games. Would lift him to, what's that? Let me just see. 69, 100k more. So that would get him up to 324 if he just went 48s for the rest of the next 3 weeks. And then there's no one really else here, which is a little bit surprising. I mean, we only had Monique's Wakefield and Humphrey debut. Humphrey's a halfback who, looking at his splits here, he's going to be so valuable when he actually plays. 45, 46, 40 case gains, which is 86, 131k by just averaging 55 for the next 3 weeks. That gets him up to 360k, and I probably won't need him by then exactly. But yeah, I could see him easily being a guy that gets up towards 400k very, very quickly, and that'll be the range where I'm like, yes, I can now sort of use you as an upgrade to some of my guys who would be failing by then. But anyway, I think that's pretty much the video there. There's nothing much to talk about. I wouldn't be getting in Billy Dowling, to be honest with you, just because of the price. So I'd be targeting Humphreys, and probably I like the job security more of Evans and Schoenmaker. And then Monique's Wakefield I would have down at 4. And if you had to bring in a guy, Billy Dowling's probably still going to make another 100k or so, I would say. What's that? 79, 100k on the dot for straight 60s from him. I think that's in the next 3 weeks he can do that. I would say that he's probably also got a chance to make 130, 140k more. He could be up towards that 500k just because of what he's averaging. And he's done it 3 times now. An 89, 55, and 64. So it's realistic to expect something around that score again. But anyway, that pretty much is the video there. And I guess I will see you guys in the later video, which will be the trade targets video, which will have quite a lot of emphasis on who to almost replace the likes of a Zach Fisher with, who is probably going to skyrocket up the outs chain now that it's been issued that he probably will be out. But anyway, I guess I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.